Here are today's top stories. The Department of Health reminds devotees to take care of themselves as the day of the Traslacion draws near. Malacanang reiterates its call for Congress to pass the proposed 2019 national budget. President Duterte approves the implementation of added excise tax on alcohol and tobacco. And Cavite showcases its traditional cuisine as the province rebrands itself as a culinary destination.
Good day, I'm Rom Dulfo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Devotees are counting down to the Traslacion, which will start tomorrow morning. Meantime, health officials join law enforcers in monitoring the influx of participants in the procession. More on this from Benj Bondo.
Devotees flocked to the Quirino Grandstand this morning for the annual Pahalik, where everyone is given a chance to kiss and pray before the Black Nazarene. In the afternoon, the 5 o'clock vigil signaled the start of the countdown to the Traslacion the next day. A fiesta mass will be held at midnight, followed by the hourly masses until 5 in the morning, when devotees carry the Black Nazarene on its long procession to Quiapo Church. Public hospitals are on code white alert as part of preparations for the annual Traslacion. Health Secretary Francisco Duque says emergency health service, nursing and administrative personnel are on standby and on call to prepare for any emergency. There are 13 medical teams which will be stationed along the procession route from the Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo Church. The Metro Manila Center for Health Development will also establish a communication post in Quiapo. Duque advised devotees to bring drinking water and to wear comfortable clothes and shoes. Devotees with chronic asthma, hypertension, or diabetes should bring with them their medications, and those who are sick, pregnant, or with serious medical conditions are advised not to join the event. To avoid injuries, Duque also advised devotees not to bring infants, young children, and the elderly. For its part, the Philippine National Police reminds devotees to cooperate with law enforcers and follow the ongoing liquor ban and traffic rerouting. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
Malacanang is confident that Supreme Court will dismiss the petition filed by Albay Congressman Ed Salagman on the third extension of martial law. Presidential spokesman Sal Panelo says the grounds cited by the opposition is similar to those from the petition against the second extension of martial law. While rebellions and the threat to public safety in Mindanao remain, no new arguments have been presented against martial law. Panelo reiterates the primary constitutional mandate of the president is to protect and serve the people, and that safety, or public safety, demands decisive action. Martial law in Mindanao has been granted an extension for 3 times. The most recent extension will be from January 1 to December 31, 2019. A Makati court junked the motion of Senator Antonio Trillanes to reconsider its ruling to pursue the rebellion charges against him. Judge Elmo Alameda ruled that Trillanes failed to provide sufficient basis to reverse the earlier ruling of the Makati court. He says, contrary to what Trillanes insists, the so-called best evidence rule applies in the case. This means the original application form for the senator's amnesty would be the superior evidence to junk his charges. Trillanes failed to prove that the original of the alleged form exists. Meanwhile, Malacanang says it respects the court verdict, adding that Trillanes is about to get his penalty for his crimes. President Rodrigo Duterte approved the implementation of additional excise tax on alcoholic drinks and tobacco products. The revenues from the excise tax will be used to fund the universal health care program. It is also seen as a public health measure to lower the number of deaths from the effects of smoking and drinking alcohol. Under House Bill 8677, the excise tax per pack of cigarettes will cost 37 pesos and 50 centavos from 32.50 starting July this year. The tax will go up by 2 pesos and 50 centavos yearly until 2022. Meanwhile, there will be a 22% ad valorem tax on the net retail price of alcohol products aside from a specific tax worth 30 pesos. The COMELEC sees a quick resolution to the revocation of the nomination of Daraga Mayor Carlwin Baldo and the Bureau of Immigration looks into an outburst incident involving a Kapamilya actor. More on these and other news around the metro from Benj Bondo.
The Commission on Elections is hoping to immediately resolve the case of Daraga Albay Mayor Carlwin Baldo. This after the Lakas CMD party revoked his certificate of nomination and acceptance for his re-election bid in the 2019 midterm elections. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez said the issue should be resolved before the final printing date of the official ballots for the forthcoming polls. Baldo has been tagged as the alleged mastermind in the killing of ACOB Bicol party list representative and mayoralty opponent Rodel Batucabe. Meanwhile, immigration officials are set to handle the incident involving actor Tony Labrusca, who figured in a heated exchange with airport officials. The Department of Justice assures they will not preempt any action by the Bureau of Immigration on the case. Labrusca's tantrum happened when he was told he will be only allowed a 30-day stay in the country as he is not covered by a balikbayan visa privilege. In other news, the Komisyon sa Wikang Filipino is inviting public and private schools nationwide to apply until January 15 for the agency's annual Pambansang Kampong Balagtas Creative Writing Camp in Bataan. The camp's target participants are grades 7 to 11 students whose poems and essays written in Filipino were featured in school papers. The camp is done in honor of Filipino poet and playwright Francisco Baltazar. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
Still to come, Malacanang reiterates its call for Congress to pass the proposed 2019 national budget. Bacolod Police report having solved more crimes in 2018. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues. Malacanang is calling on Congress to urgently pass the proposed 3.75 trillion peso 2019 national budget. Presidential spokesman Sal Panelo has asked lawmakers to steer off partisan considerations and focus their attention to pass the budget. He says the delay in its approval affects the salary hike of government employees and stall the administration's infrastructure projects and social services, especially at this time that the country continues to face crisis and calamity one after the other. The most recent one is Tropical Depression Usman, which wreaked havoc in the Bicol region. The Congress failed to pass the budget bill before the end of 2018 because of allegations of pork insertions in the 2019 budget. Astoria Hotels and Resorts has been cleared by the government to inaugurate its newly completed Astoria Current in Boracay. Astoria Current is among the first resorts that were allowed by the Department of Tourism to return to its operation in Boracay after the island was closed for 6 months for rehabilitation. The resort is now offering 205 rooms for tourists through its new annex building, making it the biggest resort in terms of room numbers in Boracay's Station 3. Astoria joins the government in promoting and implementing a more environment-friendly stay in the island. Its current personnel were taken care of during Boracay's closure as they were reassigned to other properties in Palawan and Ortigas so they would not lose their jobs. Aboitiz Power Corporation has committed to provide energy services for Light Industry and Science Park or LISP 4 in Malvar, Batangas. Aboitiz Power signed a 25-year service agreement with Science Park of the Philippines, Incorporated, to manage power distribution of the Eco Zone. The company says it will have a 250-megawatt transformers built inside the LISP 4 to provide reliable and quality power to locators, which are mostly from manufacturers and exporters. LISP 4 is a 212-hectare industrial estate project, or SPPI. The Eco Zone is part of its mixed-use property development, Malvar Cybergreen. SPPI intends to keep 35% of the original landscape of Malvar Cybergreen to preserve the natural ecosystem in the area. Iloilo City's new Freedom Grandstand is expected to be completed before the highlight of the Dinagyang Festival on January 25 to 27 this year. The 45 million peso structure is now 95% finished, with the facade likely completed by January 11 in time for the festival's opening salvo. The old Freedom Grandstand was demolished to give way to the restoration of the Sunburst Park located in between the old grandstand and the Bureau of Customs building. The new grandstand, a smaller version of Manila's Quirino Grandstand, is now located at the Muel Loni area fronting the Iloilo River. It can accommodate nearly 2,000 seats from the previous 1,000 and has a bigger lounge for guests and wider comfort rooms. About 100 public school teachers in Central Luzon are set to undergo online training. Meanwhile, Bacolod Police announced having solved more crimes in 2018. More on these stories from the provinces. From Janice Cave.
At least 100 selected public school teachers in Central Luzon will undergo a flexible learning course which aims to develop and enhance their facilitating skills. Guro 21 is an initiative of the Department of Education and the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education organization. The successful completer will receive an international course certificate and at least 6 units of advanced academic credits. In Bacolod City, local police has solved and cleared crime by more than 20% in 2018. It solved about 81% of crime cases with arrests last year. Crime clearance efficiency, or resolved crimes without arrests, also went up to 88.56% from 72% in the previous year. Bacolod City Police Office is expected to receive the award for having the highest crime solution and clearance efficiency rates in Western Visayas. In Zamboanga, Sibugay, the province mourns the death of former Governor George Hofer. The province's founding father passed away on January 6 at 80 years old. The remains of the former governor lie in state at the Cosmopolitan Nival Hills in Lahog, Cebu, and will be flown to this province on January 10. Hofer authored a bill seeking the separation of the former Zamboanga del Sur 3rd District from the province to create Zamboanga Sibugay in 1998. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, the local government of South Cotabato closes Lake Colon for rehabilitation. Cavite showcases its traditional cuisine as the province rebrands itself as a culinary destination. The PNA Newsroom continues after these reminders. The municipal government of Tibuli in South Cotabato shut down the famed crater lake of Jolon to visitors in line with its annual rehabilitation. The vicinity of the mountain lake was specifically declared off-limits to trekking and other tourism-related activities for at least 2 months. Tibuli Mayor Dibo Tuan says the ban will give the lake some time to recuperate and allow the local government to implement conservation initiatives. The lake is likely to be reopened before the opening of the town's Seslong Festival in March. Lake Jolon is the banner ecotourism destination of Tibuli, which draws thousands of locals and international visitors annually. In our foreign news, Malaysia's King Sultan Muhammad V resigned on Sunday after over 2 years serving as the country's ceremonial supreme head of state. In a statement, the National Palace says Muhammad V was an anchor of stability, source of justice, basis of unity, and uniting factor among the country's diverse people. He has also expressed his highest appreciation to the Prime Minister and the government for their cooperation. Muhammad V has prepared to return to his home state where he remains as Sultan. Prior to his resignation, the 49-year-old had been on a 2-month medical leave from November last year. In sports, Alab Pilipinas stays unbeaten in the ASEAN Basketball League after scoring its first victory for 2019 against Zhuhai at the Hoops Dome in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu on Sunday night. Alab put down the Wolf Warriors of China 105-25, leading by as much as 28 points late in the game. Ronaldo Balkman and Ethan Alvano each scored 21 points for Alab, who are now 5 wins ahead of a tough 3-game stretch beginning Wednesday night in Malaysia. Mike Bell and Kai Chen each made 20 markers for Zhuhai, which fell to 1 win and 9 losses. New recruit Mike Taylor made 19 markers, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal in his debut. Cavite is promoting itself not only as a province with a rich history, but also as a haven of traditional cuisine. Let us find out some of the province's best delicacies and products from Janice Cave.
Cavite is boosting its food and beverage industry as among the top drivers of the province's economy. To position the province as an emerging food destination, the Provincial Tourism and Cultural Affairs Office launched A Taste of Cavite, an appreciation of Cavite's old cuisines, to revolutionize traditional Cavite delicacies. It showcases famous heirloom cuisines while offering snippets of history and tradition of the towns where these came from. Kawit's Adobong Dilaw, which uses turmeric, is a hit to adobo lovers young and old. Imus City's Tokolong Ganisa is also a must. It is prepared using an old recipe passed on through generations. Casa Real in Tanza treated guests to a Spanish-Filipino course of the town's favorites, like dried pusit with tamarind sauce and patis tanza, calandracas or vegetables mixed with noodles, large-cut caldereta, crunchy pork binagoongan, tokwa sisig, paella, which uses squid sourced from Tanza, and lemon ginger mint. A tour of Cavite is not complete without visiting Amadeo, the coffee capital of the Philippines, famous for its Pahimis Festival. The last stop is at Amiras in Tagaytay City, famous for its buko pie. Cavite abounds not just with historic sites and landmarks, but offers a wide range of food specialties to satisfy one's taste buds. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories.
The Department of Health reminds devotees to take care of themselves as the day of the Traslacion draws near. Malacanang reiterates its call for Congress to pass the proposed 2019 national budget. President Duterte approves the implementation of added excise tax on alcohol and tobacco. And Cavite showcases its traditional cuisine as the province rebrands itself as a culinary destination.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Rom Dulfo. Good day.